Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Lizards are creatures many of us encounter daily, scurrying along walls, resting in corners, sometimes causing a moment of surprise or even fear. In many cultures, they are seen as mere pests or bad omens. Yet, from an Islamic perspective, nothing in creation is insignificant or random. Every living thing is a sign, ayah, from Allah, meant to teach us lessons if we open our hearts and minds. The Quran reminds us clearly that all creatures, big or small, are part of Allah's intricate design and carry spiritual wisdom. And there is no creature on or within the earth or bird that flies with its wings, except that they are communities like you. Surah An-Nahl, 1649. Despite common superstitions or discomfort around lizards, Islam encourages us to see beyond surface appearances. These tiny beings can symbolize patience, resilience, and subtle guidance during our daily trials. Take the story from 2024 in Jordan, where a family facing hardship noticed the same little lizard returning again and again near their prayer area. At first, it seemed like a nuisance, but soon they felt comfort in its quiet presence. That simple, recurring visitor became a sign of steadfastness and hope. Inspired by this, they found renewed strength, leaning on faith and community support to overcome their struggles. This video will explore the powerful spiritual messages lizards bring into our homes and hearts, blending real stories with Quranic insights to deepen our understanding. Look beyond the surface. Even the smallest creature can carry a powerful spiritual message. Have you ever felt a strange connection to a lizard or any small creature in your home? Share your story below. Before starting this video, don't forget to like this video because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our next publications on the Islamic faith. Share it with your loved ones and leave a comment to tell me what you think. Thank you and good video. The Quranic perspective on all creatures. In the Quran, Allah often draws our attention to the animal kingdom as a sign of His infinite wisdom and power. One of the most remarkable stories is found in Surah An-Nahl, the ants, where Prophet Sulaiman is gifted the ability to communicate with creatures, including ants. This divine gift reveals that animals are not just mindless beings, but communities with purpose and significance. Allah says, until, when they came upon the valley of the ants, an ant said, O ants, enter your dwellings, that you not be crushed by Solomon and his soldiers while they perceive not. Surah An-Nahl, 27:18. This story invites us to reflect on how even the smallest creatures have roles, intelligence, and lessons for us. Lizards, like ants, are part of Allah's grand design. Each creature exists with wisdom behind its creation, reminding us to be humble and recognize that we are but one piece of a vast, interconnected world. Animals and insects can teach us vital spiritual lessons: humility before the Creator, patience in adversity, and reliance on divine mercy. They are reminders that Allah's care encompasses every living being, no matter how small or overlooked. A recent real-life example from 2023 highlights this beautifully. A mosque caretaker in Indonesia observed a group of lizards that consistently gathered near the Quran stand every day. At first, it seemed coincidental, but over time, he saw this as a sign to reflect on patience and protection, qualities needed by both the caretaker and the community during challenging times. This simple observation encouraged greater mindfulness and spiritual growth. So, next time you notice animals like lizards around you, consider that they may be mirrors, reflecting divine wisdom and lessons from Allah. They invite us to pause, observe, and deepen our faith. Animals, even lizards, are mirrors reflecting divine wisdom. Pay attention to their presence.
What's the most meaningful message nature has ever given you? Tell us in the comments. The symbolism of lizards in Islamic culture. Lizards have long held a complex place in the cultural and spiritual tapestry of Muslim societies. Across history, these small creatures have inspired both reverence and caution, often wrapped in folklore and superstition. Yet, Islamic teachings encourage believers to distinguish between unfounded myths and genuine spiritual insight. In many Muslim cultures, lizards are sometimes seen as omens, some positive, some warning of trouble. For example, traditional tales may claim that seeing a lizard signals alertness or impending change. However, Islam advises against superstition and relying on such beliefs without seeking deeper understanding.
The Prophet Muhammad cautioned believers to avoid baseless fears and superstitions, emphasizing reliance on Allah alone. Instead, lizards can be appreciated symbolically for their remarkable qualities. Their agility, adaptability, and survival skills are a testimony to Allah's perfect creation. These creatures teach us the importance of vigilance, being watchful in our faith and life, as well as flexibility in facing challenges. They remind us that survival often depends on our ability to adjust without losing our essence. A recent story from Morocco in 2025 illustrates this perfectly. A family experiencing prolonged conflict noticed a lizard suddenly appear in their home just days before a major family reconciliation. The timing inspired the family to view the lizard as a spiritual sign of change and renewal, prompting them to embrace forgiveness and healing. This real-life example reveals how, when interpreted through a lens of faith rather than superstition, animals like lizards can inspire hope and positive transformation. Islam guides us to balance rational thought with spiritual reflection. We must not let superstition blind us, but instead seek the lessons Allah places beneath the surface of His creation. Don't let superstition blind you. Seek the spiritual lesson beneath the surface. Have you heard or believed any lizard-related folklore? Share, and let's discuss what Islam really teaches. Lessons from the behavior of lizards. The humble lizard may seem like a simple creature, but its behavior offers profound spiritual lessons for those who observe closely. In the natural world, lizards exemplify qualities deeply resonant with the spiritual path in Islam: patience, stillness, vigilance, and renewal. Lizards often remain perfectly still, blending into their environment, waiting for the right moment to act. This stillness and patience remind us of the Quranic virtue of sabr, patience, which is emphasized repeatedly as essential for believers facing life's tests. Allah says in the Quran, "O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. Moreover, lizards have a remarkable survival skill. They can regenerate lost tails, symbolizing renewal and mercy. This natural ability echoes the spiritual idea that no matter how much we lose or suffer, there is always hope for restoration through Allah's mercy. Just as the lizard's tail grows back, so too can our faith and resilience be renewed, even after setbacks. A real story from 2024 captures this beautifully. In the harsh desert of Yemen, a woman witnessed a lizard surviving and thriving despite extreme conditions. Watching the lizard endure, adapt, and patiently wait for sustenance inspired her during her own personal trials. She found renewed courage to persevere, turning to prayer and reflection, learning from the lizard's example of quiet endurance. In our spiritual lives, like the lizard, we are called to practice patience and remain vigilant. We should cultivate readiness to act with wisdom and faith when the right moment arrives. Faith, like a lizard's tail, can be severed by hardship, but also regrown with effort and divine grace. Like the lizard, practice patience and readiness. Faith grows strongest when tested. How do you stay patient and spiritually alert during hardship? Share your methods. Warnings and avoiding superstition. Lizards, despite their small size, have often been surrounded by superstitions and myths, many of which label them as bad omens or even messengers of evil. In some cultures, people believe that seeing a lizard inside the house predicts misfortune, sickness, or other calamities. Such beliefs can create unnecessary fear and anxiety, clouding our understanding of reality. Islam, however, provides clear guidance to steer believers away from superstition. The Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad emphasize that reliance should be placed solely on Allah, not on omens, signs, or baseless fears. Allah says in the Quran, and they say, "The most evil of creatures are those who are deaf and dumb who do not use reason." Surah Al-A'raf 7:179. The Prophet also warned against superstition, advising believers to avoid it as it can lead to shirk, associating partners with Allah. True reliance, or tawakkul, is trusting Allah's plan without falling into fear of unfounded signs. A recent real-life example from 2023 illustrates this. A family in Egypt became gripped by fear after repeatedly spotting lizards in their home. Convinced it was a sign of impending misfortune, they considered abandoning their house. However, after consulting a knowledgeable Islamic scholar, they learned that such beliefs have no basis in Islam. The scholar reminded them that animals are creations of Allah with no power to predict or cause harm. This guidance helped the family regain peace and strengthened their faith in Allah's protection.
This story serves as a powerful reminder. Superstition can distract us from the true spiritual path. Islam calls us to wisdom, reliance on Allah, and understanding the signs He places in our lives without fear or misunderstanding. Islam teaches reliance on Allah, not omens. Beware of superstitions that lead away from tawakkul. Have you ever felt confused by superstition? How did you overcome it? Let's talk. Practical spiritual advice, inspired by lizards. Lizards, though small and often unnoticed, embody powerful qualities that can inspire Muslims in their spiritual and everyday lives. From their alertness to their calm patience and their remarkable ability to renew themselves, lizards offer us a blueprint for how to live with mindfulness, resilience, and faith. One key lesson from lizards is the balance between being alert and calm. They remain watchful of their surroundings, ready to react swiftly, yet maintain stillness and composure. In our fast-paced world, cultivating this balance is essential. Islam encourages believers to be aware of their environment, their inner states, and the subtle signs from Allah, while also maintaining tranquility and trust in His plan. Patience, or sabr, is another vital quality. Like lizards enduring harsh climates, believers are called to persevere through trials without despair. Renewal is also essential. Just as lizards can regenerate lost tails, we are reminded that faith and character can be renewed no matter how difficult the setbacks. Moreover, Islam teaches the harmonious relationship between trust, tawakkul, and wise preparation, tadbir. The Prophet said, "Tie your camel, then put your trust in Allah." This means taking practical steps while maintaining full reliance on Allah's will. A beautiful real-life example comes from a community in Malaysia. Inspired by observing the quiet resilience of small creatures like lizards around their homes and mosques, they started a mindfulness and patience project. This initiative helped people practice calm awareness and foster communal harmony, especially during challenging times. It showed how nature's subtle lessons can inspire positive change in society. Incorporating these lessons, Muslims can nurture spiritual alertness and strength, remain calm under pressure, and renew their faith continuously, just like the lizard. Be like the lizard, steady, aware, and always ready to renew your trust in Allah. What daily habits help you stay spiritually alert? Share your tips, real-time reflections, and final spiritual insights. In a world filled with uncertainty, marked by natural disasters, political unrest, and personal hardships, sometimes the most profound lessons come from the quietest corners of creation. Observing the small creatures around us, like the resilient lizard, can serve as a powerful reminder of Allah's mercy, wisdom, and the strength He grants His servants. During recent years, families affected by floods, earthquakes, and storms have found unexpected comfort in noticing how small creatures survive and adapt amid devastation. These tiny beings, often overlooked, symbolize hope and resilience, mirroring the Quranic message that no matter how dire the situation, Allah's mercy is near. The Quran states, "Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. And rely upon Allah, and sufficient is Allah as disposer of affairs. Surah Al-Ahzab 33:3. The quiet perseverance of lizards, their patience in waiting for the right moment, and their ability to renew themselves reflect the spiritual resilience Muslims are called to embody today. Whether facing personal trials or global challenges, we are reminded to keep our trust in Allah, remain patient, and continue moving forward with faith. A touching real story from 2025 tells of a family in Indonesia who survived a powerful earthquake. In the aftermath, as they sought safety and solace, they noticed lizards moving calmly around their damaged home. The simple observation gave them a sense of peace and a spiritual anchor in the chaos. It was a sign that life continues, that Allah's creatures endure, and so could they. This teaches us that even the smallest signs in nature carry powerful spiritual messages, encouraging us to draw strength and hope from the world Allah created. When life feels overwhelming, remember the quiet strength of Allah's creatures around you. When life feels overwhelming, remember the quiet strength of Allah's creatures around you. Has nature ever helped you find hope in difficult times? Share your experience. Conclusion and call to action. As we conclude this journey through the powerful spiritual message of lizards in your home, let's take a moment to reflect on the lessons these humble creatures offer us. From their patience and vigilance to their ability to renew themselves, lizards remind us of the qualities Allah loves in His servants: steadfastness, awareness, and trust in Him. Islam teaches us to seek wisdom in every part of Allah's creation. Observing nature mindfully allows us to connect deeply with the signs, ayat, Allah places around us every day. These signs help strengthen our faith and encourage us to act with balance, avoiding superstition while embracing true reliance on Allah or tawakkul. Remember, lizards are not messengers of doom or bad luck. Instead, they symbolize the spiritual journey of growth, renewal, and resilience that every believer can embody. By opening our hearts to these lessons, we grow closer to Allah and better understand our place in His magnificent creation. Open your heart to Allah's signs, even in the smallest creatures, and grow closer to Him. What's the most surprising spiritual lesson you've learned from nature? Tell us below.